For the next 30 days, I'm posting a long form video on YouTube showing my design process. Most of these will be real life projects and unedited, so basically you're designing with me. Day one, we'll be focusing on this polo project, so let's go ahead and lock in. Make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss out on tomorrow's post. So the first design is going to be a polo. I've already done some rugby tees and polos with Knorrs. They wanted to do some more variations, so we're going to go ahead and just grab the technical for the rugby tee of this old project so I don't have to design the technical again. Saves us some time. So we're going to go ahead and take all of these actually, and let's go ahead and file new Knorrs rugby tees. Let's go, and we're going to go ahead and drop them in. I could probably find the draw files of this technical so I can have them clean, but doesn't really matter. I can go ahead and just delete all this stuff that we don't really need. And let's go ahead and just remove this old design. Oh, actually, I'll keep this in here. Let's remove this. Let's remove this, remove this, remove this, and remove all this. We don't need any of this. So this is from the old design. I'm going to show you guys quickly how to get a clean technical from a live paint, because obviously when you have live paint, you can't just move around things. It gets disturbed. So if I move this here, it will ruin the image. First thing you want to do is just select using the selection tool, and then you want to go to fill and put completely off, so nothing. And then you do that for the rest of them. Once you complete, you want to go ahead and select your image or your object again. Go to object, expand. Once you expand it, it will no longer be a live object. So you can go ahead and move things around without disturbing anything. Once you've done this, or once I've done this, I'm going to go ahead and remove this old pattern from this design. And then I'm going to go ahead and introduce the client's vision for what he wants to make. Which one should we focus on today? Let's focus on this one. Now, me personally, I like to start with the graphics. So we got a crown, we got some knives or some swords here, and we got a banner, and then we just got some sort of, what would you call it, stencil font. And we're basically trying to remake this for the brand and the brand's identity. Based in New York, we always try to put New York motifs within the graphics just to add a bit of flair here and there and tie the brand back to the original identity. So I'm just going to start by Knorrs, and I'm going to search for a stencil font. I like this one. Cheddar Gothic stencil. Make a duplicate as always. And then I'm going to go ahead and make a simple rectangle. From this rectangle, I'm going to go to effect, warp, and then arc. And I'm going to put on arc. There we go. Perfect. Let's go object, expand. From here, we can go ahead and create an outline of our duplicated font, size it to the arc that we have, and arrange and send that one to the back. Select both of them. Once you've selected both of them, go to object, envelope distort, and make with top object. And it basically just builds the font to match whatever object that you have. Exactly what it says is what it does. Distorts it to the top object. I don't know why I complicated that so much. Once we have that there, we want to go ahead and get some crowns. Let's search up crests designs. I like this. Let's go ahead and grab this, drop it down so we can reference this sort of look. So when you're designing a crown like this, you just want to start with half the crown. There we go. I've never designed a crown, so I'm just using the pen tool right now to basically make a sort of custom crown. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to hide this with a bunch of blur and distortion anyway. I'm using the direct selection tool right now to warp different sections and make them match. I told myself I was going to make this perfect, and look at me making it perfect because I'm a perfectionist. Then I'm going to use the curvature tool to add a bit of curves here and there. Make it look a bit more realistic. Let's go ahead and add some gems or some placements where gems would be. There we go. Actually, why do I want to complicate that? Let's just drag this over here. Use the alignment tool. Always use the alignment tool, guys, because it is your best friend. I'm using direct selection and holding Alt on my keyboard to make a duplicate. This is what I usually do. Let's go ahead and group that. Duplicate it, transform, reflect, drag that boy across, line it up, I think around there. And let's go ahead and join these corners right here. Join these corners right here. Join this corners right here. Add this up here. I didn't explain what I was doing. Selection, right click, join. And it has to be one point. You can't select multiple points and then join them because it just won't work. That we're gonna have to work with this exactly how it is. So make a duplicate. So in case we need to go back and adjust that one. And then go to Effect, Blur, Gaussian Blur. If you make this a little bit thin, like this, and then go to Object, Rasterized, make it on white, not transparent. Then go to Window, Image Trace, and then Preview. And then you just want to make this threshold maximum, right? And then paths. Depending on how much detail you want, you can make this as detailed as you want. I usually put on max detail. Noise relates to like if there's any little holes and stuff like that, you add it in. Press ignore color. Object expandio. Let's go. And now I'm going to use shape builder, some black. Let's move these part a little bit. And let's go ahead and select everything, make it all one shape because no turning back. What's it called? What's the technical term of those like shifting knives? What do you call them? I don't know. What would you call them? I don't know. What is the technical term of it? Like my brain is stuck right now. Fencing. Fencing vector. Perfect. We can go ahead and just image trace this one. Window, image trace. See how this turns out. Put this threshold all the way up. Paths all the way up. Ignore white. Object, expand. So we got some of our elements here, and we can see the design start to take shape. Add some detail. I'm going to duplicate this real quick and then add this on top like this. So basically what I had done is I wanted to add some sort of like a little bit more detail, like some highlights and shadows, because we can see some highlights in here. And instead of doing it manually, I went ahead and just created a duplicate, made an outline, set it to the back. And then I just, you know, made a sort of kind of offset look. I'm gonna have to do this manually. There's been this song stuck in my head. Don't speak, you know what I'm saying. I'm going crazy already. It's only 20 minutes in. How can I do this for 30 days? It's gonna be a bad 30 days, bro. I'm running out of time to make you love me. I'm using selection of the second object, and then Pathfinder, the second one, to cut out my little pieces. So there we go. So we have a piece here. I'm gonna go ahead and select it, select the piece that I wanna cut out with, and then use the Pathfinder to cut that boy out. Do the same thing for this one. And you know, it just adds a bit of detail that we're missing, some critical detail that we're missing. Let's go ahead and, for the outline that we originally made, let's go ahead and expand that so it's a shape, and then Pathfinder again to bring them into one shape. Now we have a crown with a bit more detail. This is what we started with. This is what we have now. Do you see what I mean? That's the detail we added. Just so we can match what's going on here. Let's make this bigger. Let's delete this. We don't no longer need this. Why do I have two? Why do I have two? Anyway, now we have to play with placements so it matches the reference here. So we got knife, knife, crown in the middle. So let's go ahead and duplicate this knife, transform, reflect. Let's go ahead and align those. Now let's talk about angle. That's the important part now. I think this angle is fine. Just need to bring this a bit closer. Let's go ahead and add NYC. Object, expand. And let's go ahead and add some text. 04. Create an outline. Create an outline of this as well. Let's go ahead and align this, and we're gonna go ahead and group this. Actually, that doesn't make any sense. (2004). Create an outline. Create an outline. Just go ahead and make these a bit smaller so we have some hierarchy in the design. Select them both again, using the alignment tools, align them, group them together. And now for the swords, actually let me add a bit more of an angle so we have a lot more room to play with. And then transform and reflect this sword. Sorry, make a duplicate, transform, reflect. Let's go ahead and align these as well, and then group it. So now we can go ahead and align all this, because this is in groups, we could just use the center alignment tool. And we can even select the NYC as well. Everything gets aligned perfectly for us. Let's go ahead and warp this around. Let's go ahead and go object, path, offset path. And let's set this to around 8, and joins. Let's go ahead and put that as round. And then we're going to go ahead and grab our offsets using the direct selection tool. Grabbing our offsets, we're going to go ahead and use the pathfinder and make that into one shape. The reason why we're doing this is we want to cut it out of the sword so our design looks a bit more complete. I went ahead and just made a duplicate of the sword in case we make mistakes. So for the swords as well, we'll do the exact same steps. Select or direct selection and use a pathfinder to make them one shape or one object. And I'm going to go ahead and use the pathfinder again once I've selected the NYC offset as well as the swords and cut that out. Didn't work. This way? No. We're going to have to do it manually. Go ahead and use the shape builder. Bam, bam, bam. So that way we've created a new shape. We can go ahead and delete this and remove the shapes out of the shape that we've created, if that makes sense. Do the exact same for the crown. Oh, the crown's gonna be a headache. Oh, that's gonna be a headache. I think for the crown, we can just use some rectangles and cut it out, because this is the only section that I want to delete. Delete, delete. You see it come together now. We have that middle section going on. Let's go ahead and group all this. So it's one graphic. I don't know what to put right here. Ralph Lauren. Let's look at some references. So now we can see there's a texture on here. We didn't see that in the original reference that he sent us. We can put this through Photoshop and achieve this texture pretty easily. It says 19th R&B. Let's go ahead and make that. Let's make the banner. That's true. I didn't realize how dramatic that was. Okay. Oh, actually, there's an easier way of doing this. Freehand your banner and then make the line super thick. Pause. Pause, pause, pause. Object, expand. So now you have a consistent shape. And now all we have to do is match these little curvatures at the end. I put it in the wrong spot. That's why it looks weird. For the style of banner I've just drawn, it wouldn't make sense to put it there. First, I want to work out this little kink that we have here. And then if I just draw transform, reflect, arrange, bring this to the front, object, path, offset path, 4, use direct selection, shape builder, delete, 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 misalign it a bit. There we go. This makes a lot more sense. What should I put in the middle? I still can't figure out what I want to put in the middle. For the culture or something? Like, I don't know what to put in the middle of this. Look some references. object path, offset path. Let's put a negative offset this time at -8. Make a line. Take off the fill. Make the line pink. Delete, delete. City of NYC. City of Culture. Type on path. Type on path options. I don't know why it's reversing. Flip. Preview. Be normal, please. City of Culture. Let's go ahead and use these little curvature things to move our text. We most definitely will make a duplicate of this. And now for the text, let's just go ahead and object. What the hell did I do? Object. Where's my object? Object. Expand. Compound path make. This is all one shape, better be. Let's go ahead and just cut that out. Group. All that work, right? All that work, about 40 minutes worth of work just for this little section that no one will ever look at. It's kind of insane how much work goes into design, right? Like when you're looking at it, it's, brother, insane. Let's go ahead and just duplicate this. Bring this up. Let's go. Perfect. Let's go ahead and make this all white. Group. Let's go ahead and launch some Photoshop real quick. New file. What file size do I want? 3000 by 3000, 350 dpi. I'm trying to blow up my computer basically with these dpi. Knorr's rugby drafts 04, because this is the 4th rugby we've done, I'm pretty sure. Let's go ahead and drop that. So if you have Photoshop and Adobe together, you can go ahead and just copy things directly from Illustrator to Adobe into Photoshop, but it doesn't work the other way around, which I find quite weird. What we want here is to add texture and distort our image basically. So I'm going to go ahead and head over to Texture Labs, download maximum extra large 7000 by 4000. Ooh. That DPI is crazy. How can you compete with Texture Labs, bro? Free? Sensational. Let's go ahead and do that. Before we even add any effects, let's see what it's going to look like. We basically want the black and not the white. So why did I put it on color dodge? Oh, that looks crazy. This is what we want. This is what we want. This is what we want. So let's go ahead and set this to normal. And let's go ahead. I used to do this all the time. Add a threshold. Add a new layer. Select color range. And shadow. Fill this in with black. And then we're gonna go ahead and select. We're gonna go ahead and go to our vector smart object, add a mask. And then I'm gonna go ahead and select our new selection and fill of our black threshold. And fill that layer that we added the mask on with black. And then bam, we have our cutout graphic perfectly done. Now we have to bring this back into Illustrator. You could either do this by exporting it, but the easiest way / most quick way is to just take a screenshot and then drag the screenshot back into Illustrator, image trace, scope. Perfect. Let's go and add these paths all the way up. And threshold. Ignore. Color, which is white. Object, expand. Bam. We have our graphic vectorized. So let's go ahead and grab this vector right here of our technicals that we did originally. Let's start placing our design together. Annie, are you okay? Say, Annie, are you okay? Let's remove the sleeves. Are you okay, Annie? Annie, are you okay? Say, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Let's freehand some sleeves real quick. Perfect. Let's go ahead and add the hemming. Once we've done that, transform, reflect. Let's go ahead and align these. And now we'll just repeat that for, did I make a duplicate? Okay, good. Again, remove all this because we don't need it. And once we have our sleeves, we can go ahead and just transfer them to the back ones because it's the exact same. Lovely. Just make sure that these are aligned though. Perfect. Group. Group. So once that's all grouped now, I'm gonna go ahead and make the straps into a pattern just so it's easier for the fill in case the client wants to change colors. It's about this sort of width, correct? Let's go ahead and select this color or wherever the darkest color is right there. Make a duplicate. And let's go ahead and select this color. Let's go ahead and group that and go to pattern, make, and then press done. Now, once we have that, we'll make a duplicate of our short sleeves in case we want to come back. I'm always making duplicates because I don't want to mistake that I can't reverse. I'm going to go ahead and save this real quick. Because my Illustrator, as you saw at the beginning, crashes randomly. Press OK. And let's start painting. So the color is about like a brown color. So let's go to our color books. Pantone CMYK uncoated. It's like a light beige. Like something around here. A bit darker actually. Perfect. And now let's get our fill that we made, our pattern, and we can use, like I'm using right now, the live paint bucket to fill in. The fill is going to be white, white, white. Arrange, bring to front. Make it like a cream. Knows again. Winter 25. What do I want to put on the other side? So we got Knorr's 2004 NYC Fuller Culture Winter 2025. And then let's put City of New Kanoy. Let's go ahead and play with that. The color's a bit brighter, so I'm going to go ahead and edit that pattern that we made. To do that, all you have to do is just, you can either double click until you get to the pattern or right click and then edit pattern, but it's not showing up. So I'm just going to go up to help. edit, pattern, edit pattern. I'm going to use an actual pan sign so we can recall it later. Yeah, it's much better. I wish I bought these sleeves in a bit more though. It's fine. Go ahead and group that. Go ahead and group this one. To make the technical look a bit more realistic, add your line work again on the top of your finished graphic, because it has some embroideries here and there. And I'm gonna go ahead and go into the canals. There's these jorts that we made, the draft jorts. There's this New York Yankees logo. Or this one would be crazy. Make this the embroidery for this section here. Let's go ahead and just use our eyedropper tool to select some embroidery. Is that visible? Yeah, it's not needed. It's not needed, but it's cool. I like it. I like it. Object path, offset path. Yeah, I think it will be a good touch to the graphic, or to the piece. Well, actually, they had their little call out section, or what's called a little outside tag. And it would make sense if this was an outside tag. So I'm gonna group that. Yeah, that's cold. Is there anything else I can just take from this project that we didn't use? I made a video on this. Ooh, this K. We didn't end up using this K. This whole patch, actually. That is crazy. Designing every single day for the next 30 days. Design 1 is officially complete. What would that take? 55 minutes. That is a new record. 55 minutes for this graphic. Actually, this graphic is not that detailed. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy that. I'll see you guys tomorrow with the next video. Thanks again. Follow me on Instagram at Designedbywil. I really want to hit 10K before the year ends.